Hello, welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is Kevin Small, and today we are watching the Lost Ark Warrior Advanced Classes and Abilities. The official website of Lost Ark here in the West has released the first class announcement thingy, and we are watching this live with my community. Like most of the time, if you're going into my channel and you see this, which is called my face, I believe, that probably means I'm watching this live with my community on my live stream. So yeah, they have posted this and they're taking a first look at all the warrior classes which will be available at the Western release and not which are available in Korea. I know this, funny enough, we talked about this today in the earlier stream when it comes to the Lost Ark community has a little bit of a problem. And the problem is that there is right now a small amount of people who have played the game and they know the game in and out. And then there is a huge part of the community who has never done that. They have not played the game. They have maybe watched one or two trailers. And for them, this is all new. And unfortunately, what I have seen so far, sometimes in the social media, in comments and whatnot, is that the smaller part of the community can be sometimes very ghastly, to say the least. And I know some people will already say, yeah, but keep in mind, there's still classes missing. Yes. Like, I will focus mostly on the Western release. I'm aware what's going on in the other channels, lol, in the other regions where Lost Ark has been released. And I mean, I've been playing for years now on the Russian server. So I am one of those people who is in the minority who has played the game already. But I will mostly focus on the Western release, and that's it. So the website itself is available under Play Lost Ark. It's the newest update. And they're also talking about like all the classes and their abilities a little bit here. We will not go through this because they actually have a relatively lengthy video to show. So let's switch over. Nope. That was the wrong button. Doesn't matter. Let's switch over to the warrior video. And let's have a look. Yoink. At the warrior. And we will watch all of this in one go. I have not seen this yet, so I'm kind of curious what they are doing. And then I would say we are talking a little bit about the classes and the subclasses. Let's do that. All right. The warrior. Warrior! Oh, the berserker. Nice. Yeah, we'll also talk about the abilities we see here. The good old whirlwind. Ooh, brutal. Love it. Especially the after explosion. Boom. The Berserker feels so satisfying. Again, we will talk about that when we are done with the video. Oh, the Gun Lancer, aka the Warlord. I like the term Gun Lancer. I know that people are preferring Warlord, but I think with Gun Lancer it is easier to understand what this class is doing. And a lot of people are underestimating the damage of this dude. I personally have to say I don't... It's still not my class, even though it looks kind of cool. Ooh, the Lance of Judgment. Nice. I mean, if you like big shields, that's your class. Ah, the Paladin. Oh. very shiny. All the shinies. I love that the sword is not as big as the other classes, because it's a one-handed sword. Still very flashy. Lots of flashes. Nice! That was good! Show a lot of different abilities and show the classes in action. I think that's pretty good. Let's watch this whole thing from the beginning. So let's talk about the Berserker. So the interesting part about the Berserker here is I think a lot of people see the Berserker and the first thing they're thinking about is, oh, dude with a big sword. Okay. Typical warrior class. And I have heard a lot of first players like reacting like this. They see the class and they're like, okay. But with that said, the Berserker is so satisfying to play. Like, every attack, you feel the weight. You feel how it like slashes through the enemies and does tons of damage. It's such a satisfying class just to play with all the abilities. Like it's just brutal strength, and you feel that. You feel that with every swing, with every attack, and it's fantastic. So I know you look at the class and you think, oh, that's it. Okay, big dude with big sword. Alright, but the Berserker is one of those classes you might dismiss, but you have to play the class. To really feel like the Berserker, you have to play it. It's a fantastic feeling. And it gets stronger and stronger. What I find a little bit interesting here, and that is true for every class they're showing, is that they are not showing the upgraded versions of the abilities. I know this is not a part of this video, and it will probably go too deep, but it is a very interesting and very important component to Lost Ark, that you can change your ability, like the Strike Wave, or let's say like the Whirlwind. You have like some standard upgrades, like you do the Whirlwind longer, or the cooldown is slower, and so on and so forth. Like nothing special, but then you can actually completely change how some of those abilities behave, and they would do something completely else. So it's a bit weird that they are showcasing those abilities, but without the knowledge of the upgrade system. So I hope they will showcase all the classes, and then they will showcase the upgrade system, or they will showcase the upgrade system pretty soon. Because as I said, keep in mind that a lot of people who are watching this, seeing this for the first time, and they have absolutely no clue what that is. And sometimes you have those abilities with the classes where you look at them and they feel a little bit underwhelming. I feel like, oh, that's the ability? Okay, not really what I expected. Next. And then you actually start to put some points into those abilities, and they're starting to change that special, and it feels so much better. I had multiple abilities on my Russian server classes where I thought that at the beginning, like, okay, whatever. And then I upgraded those abilities and I was like, holy moly, that's amazing. So they are not showcasing that. But the Berserker, definitely one of the strongest melee classes. Keep in mind that the balance will also change and that, so it doesn't really matter too much what I'm saying. But the Warrior is is considered very, the Berserker is considered very strong. The Gun Lancer. The Gun Lancer is such an interesting class because people will probably look at it and think, oh, it's the tank. Yes, you can use some tanking abilities, or well, damage mitigating abilities, not tanking. You cannot be a real tank like in other MMOs that you are building up the aggro and then you are tanking the boss or something like that. That doesn't really exist here. But people will get the feeling because, dude with shield. But the Gun Lancer has a lot of strong abilities, and more importantly, man, they're really focusing on the Paladin for the most. The Gun Lancer was just like a minute long. Just realizing that. The Gun Lancer is very, very strong when it comes to crowd control and controlling the area. And that is very important, because you have a lot of abilities coming in PvE and of course PvP, if you should do that, where crowd control and again area control is very important. Like protecting your team from like a huge AoE attack or from a huge special attack. Like Gun Lancers are not played very often, or I believe they will not be played very often here in the West at the beginning, and people will miss out because of that. Because the Gun Lancer is again like really good, but it only shows it later. Like you will learn to appreciate that class. And it's pretty rare on the other servers. It gets better. Like people slowly start to check him out. And yeah. Let's talk about the Paladin. My god, they really took like a minute for the Gun Lancer, and now it's the Paladin. The Paladin is very interesting. I would say it's one of the most versatile classes because you can play him as a mage, as a range class, and as a melee fighter. So you have like a healthy mix between physical damage and magical damage. And sure, the Paladin is not the class which is doing the most DPS in the game, but he doesn't have to because he's absolutely versatile. He has a lot of abilities who can help your team. You can even heal a little bit. Again, there are no healers in the game, like not your classical healer of like a priest who's standing in the background and is just spamming heal. That doesn't really exist in this game, right? But you have some abilities who can actually help out your team. You can still do a good amount of damage. Like, the Paladin is definitely one of the most versatile classes in the game. And because of that, they are losing a little bit of damage. But I think the Paladin is pretty fun. Actually one of the newer classes, so to speak. The Paladin was actually not one of the release classes in the other regions. And I can see that a good amount of people will play the Paladin. Question is, will they get what they expect? Because as you can see here, like as I said before, you can play him as a melee fighter, or you can play him as a little bit like a range caster. And again, I can see some people will be confused by that, maybe. But they're like, wait, is this now a caster or is this a melee fighter? But yeah, as I said, very versatile. I enjoy the Paladin. And yeah, those are the three classes. So TLDR, Berserker is doing massive amount of damage. Right now, at this point in time, the Berserker is considered as one of the strongest classes in the game. Like not the, but one of them. Like he's very strong, he has a lot of DPS. But he has also a lot of abilities where he has to commit. Like you can see that he sometimes stands still, or he's going in this swing mode right here. So that you are committing to your attacks, and that can cost you dearly. If you are like in the middle of a fight and you are using this and the boss is like preparing a super heavy attack, you cannot abort that. Like you are captured in it. So keep that in mind. So that damage comes a little bit at a movement cost, depending of course how you build your Berserker. that really depends on you. But yeah, Berserker is definitely a class a lot of people would dismiss because it looks like the plain two-handed sword warrior. But let me tell you, the Berserker is huge fun. Definitely test out the Berserker at some point. Absolutely deserving. It's a very fun class. The same goes with the Gun Lancer. I assume that a lot of people will look at this class and think, oh, tank, I don't want to play a tank. Again, it's not a tank. He has a lot of area denial abilities. He has a lot of abilities who protects the team for quite some time, but you do a lot of damage. And in the other regions, more and more people come to appreciate this class and what it can bring to the party. So we will not see a lot of Gun Lancers at the beginning when Lost Ark is coming out, or that's at least what I assume. But people will more and more appreciate having a Gun Lancer in their group. And then, last but not least, we have the Paladin. As I said, very versatile class. Can do a little bit of healing, can do some range damage, can do melee damage, like super duper versatile. Not the highest DPS, but versatility is also pretty good in this game, so nothing to sneeze at. And I can see that a lot of people will check out the Paladin maybe at the beginning, because Paladins are quite common here in the West. So people like to play that in RPGs, and we will probably see that. So yeah, that was a first look at the classes series of the Warrior in Lost Ark. Keep in mind, everything can change till the release. This is not me telling you what class to play, and it's definitely not telling you like which class is the most OP class right now in the game, because that will completely change till then. So this is really just an overview. But yeah, that was it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're on your way out, I would appreciate if you might consider to click on the like button. And if you didn't like this video, well, the dislike button is right next to it. And if you want to see more Lost Ark videos here on the channel, then I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so yet, it will help me out a great deal. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. See you next time. Bye bye.